Folks, Ann here. Welcome to my channel. Just fumbling around with my camera a little bit. So I'm out here at the cemetery and it feels so good to be out here. The sun is coming out. I'm feeling better. As many of you know, I've been sick with a diverticulitis flare-up. It's been a week now. And although I'm feeling better, I gotta tell you, I didn't want to come out here. You know, the old me, I would have stayed sitting in that chair all day again today. Because, you know, it's just more comfortable when you don't feel well to be home in your chair. So I don't know if I'm walking pretty fast. I'm surprising myself. I thought I would be really slow like I was last Saturday. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know if I'm gonna do 1 lap, 2 laps. It's all gonna depend on how I'm feeling. But last night, you know, I sat in that chair mostly for 3 days straight. And last night I went to get out of my chair and it was hard. I felt like I was right back to where I was before I started this journey. I do have to go slower. You know, it doesn't take long for your rigor mortis to set in, folks. So I knew I had to get out here. I have to do this. I have to push myself. And then I have to do some good stretches. But I thank you all for being here. Thank you for the new subscribers. I love you guys. I read your comments. I've been trying to get back to replying to them. But today I want to talk about how we can bounce back after we've had a setback. And I'm hoping that this video will be an example of me doing just that. Now normally, folks, my last few flare-ups that lasted almost 3 weeks, I didn't do this. I babied myself on the chair like I was just saying. And I have to try something different, you know. I'm thinking I'm feeling better, that I should be able to do at least this much, even if it's one time around. And I think that because of my diet in the last couple of months, that I have to be stronger internally. I have to be. So these flare-ups shouldn't last 3 weeks. So that's why I want to push myself. You know, I don't want to do it too much. I always tell everyone, don't overdo it. And I'm not going to overdo it either. But I have to do something a little different than what I've always done, which was nothing. So this should get, I read that it does help to get the bowels and everything moving properly. And I also call this a diverticulitis flare-up and oxalate dumping. I'm calling it both. So, but I wanted to talk about how we could get back into it after we've had a setback. And, you know, I know a lot of people that can't get out. You know, and it doesn't mean that you have to get out and walk if you can't. You could come back to it just by making those food choices right there at home, because that's where it really all starts. It's internally in our bodies, what we eat, what we feed it, what we nourish it. That's where it starts, folks, whether you can get out or not. And maybe once you do that for a while, you will be able to get out. Small baby steps. That's how I've been doing it. Small baby steps. Right from the beginning. Because when I had my diverticulitis flare up in December, I had mentioned in a video, it was hard for me to even come out of that. I didn't want to do anything. I spent 3 weeks sitting in that chair and being sick. And it gets harder as you get older, folks. Don't wait. Don't wait. Whatever age you are right now, start now. Start taking the baby steps, replacing the carbs with something healthy. Going for little walks if you're able to do that. Don't wait another day because our lives depend on it. The quality of life. Now, I know I have to get this straightened out and heal this diverticulitis problem because I think if I carried on in my ways, it'd be progressively worse amongst all the other things I got going on. My back issues, my diabetes. For the new subscribers, I'm pushing 68. I have diabetes, a lower back condition, tilted pelvis, diverticulitis, skin issues. There's other things, but they're not quite so important. So, anyway, when we have these setbacks, it not only hurts us. Sorry, folks, but the storage on my phone caused it to shut down, and it turned out to be such a beautiful walk. I kept on going. I made it for the mile. I went 4 times around, and I'm back home, and I'm gonna rest for a while, have a nice healthy breakfast. But I just wanted to finish what I was talking about, and that was about physically and emotionally how you're drained sometimes when you have a setback, a health setback, or any kind of setback, really. Emotionally, we've talked about this before. It could cause some triggers, and I was having some stinking thinking yesterday. Thinking that I'm just gonna sit there. I'm not gonna do anything. And even this morning, I had to push myself to get out there and do that. I was shocked I was able to do 4 times around. And that just goes to show you that physically, mentally, we're telling ourselves, oh, we can't do it, but yet we can do it. And I proved that this morning because I honestly didn't want to go out there. And I feel so much better that I did. But I still am not back to my old self again. So it's going to take some time, but I'm going to keep getting out there and not give in to the feelings that I can't do it. If you really can't do it, that's one thing, but evidently I could do it. I had to push myself. And I wanted to talk about, the years that we lose when we're not taking care of ourselves. I know I lost a lot of years and I wish I could have those back, but you know what? I have every day forward. And as long as I do the right thing, then I'm gonna live a much better quality of life, a happier life. And it all starts today for all of us. It starts today. We can't look back on our past, and we really can't predict our future either, but we could do what we need today, folks. And I feel so much better mentally because I know I did that walk. And that's what I mean. If you take little steps, even if it's just cutting out 1 carb day, and that's all you can do, then that's going to emotionally make you feel so much better just for that little achievement that you had. And that should start today, folks. Don't wait. Don't wait for the younger people out there. Don't lose parts of your life because you're, you know, you're not taking care of yourself, you're eating the wrong foods, it becomes a struggle. If you haven't reached the part where you really have gained some weight, I can vouch it becomes such a struggle to do anything. And now I know there's a lot of you that relate to that because you're there. You have that weight, and it makes life so much difficult. If we start making one change a day, just one little change a day, we're headed in the right direction. And that's what we need to do. I'm glad I did what I did, walk today, and I gotta say, I those little minutes of thinking stinking right now, I feel like I'll never go back to that way of eating. Never, because I'm gonna get stronger. This is working. This low carb journey is working, and this little setback that I have is not gonna stop that. No, I will never go back to that. I know I say one day at a time, and I have to think that way because it's hard to say forever. It's also hard never to say never. But it's it's something we all should do, and I hope you folks will be on board with me. I know a lot of you are. I know a lot of you are doing great, and now I'm still getting a lot of congrats for the 2,000 subscribers, and I put that out there prematurely because I still had like 49 that I was supposed to get before I hit the 2,000 mark. But it's coming in slowly, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to hit 2,000, folks. And I want to thank you all for that. I'm not going to keep this very lengthy. I'm gonna cut this short, but I just wanted to say thank you again to all of you, and I hope that you will. I hope that even if you're not feeling like it, just do one thing, whether it's a short walk or reducing some carbs. Do one thing today, and I think you'll feel better for it, just in your spirituality, knowing that you did it, folks. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm hoping to get out again tomorrow to do my walk. So, and I'll make sure my camera has enough storage. Bye, folks.